Hello. You're tuning to the episode of TheWunderkindShow. Today's second topic: how will the Ravens properly use their weapons? Look! Shout out to Ing Raven, because I watched his episode today. And I rewatched the mine, because sometimes I like to rewatch what I say just to make sure, every tidbit is covered in my mind. Because sometimes if I did say something, I want to make sure I correct it, or I want to see how things look. You know what I'm saying? And I was going over something, and I was saying, man, Lamar Jackson's coming out talking about big body receiver. Shout out to Ing, that was from his video. And then I was covering pretty much on his willingness to run even more now that the season is dwindling down. So the question that everybody is not answering, the question that is actually the real question moving forward, is how will his weapons properly be used then? Look, guys, I don't blame Lamar on this. And I know someone's like, of course you don't, Nitro. You never blame Lamar. Oh. No. Not on this, I don't. No. And I don't care if you say it's a Lamar glasses thing and I care about it. No, that's not it. We're seeing a higher usage rate of Mark Andrews. Why? Because the line is not holding up. He is having to move around more, and plays are becoming, developing plays are being broken early because he has to run for his life. Like that one church song, I'm running from my life. I'm running from my life. Yeah, I've never heard that song. So the question starts to become, okay, how we use Zay Flowers moving forward? Are we going to go back to how we were using him in the beginning of the season? More pop passes in the backfield? Are we going to start using, how are we going to use Patrick Ricard? Are we going to use him more on fakes? How are we going to use Likely? How are we going to get him the ball? Are we going to use more screens with Likely? Use him more as a downfield threat? Red zone threat? Heck, how are we even going to use Rashad Bateman? These questions come up because one thing that I've said so many times is that the Ravens never feed the hot hand. The only time the Ravens feed the hot hand is if it's a running back named Derrick Henry. That's the only time. Everybody else, if you get hot, we ain't using you no more for the rest of the game. You automatically become a decoy for everybody else to try to get involved. This is why this question is arising. Raven fans, let me tell you something right now. We are on the cusp of flailing out or making a run. It's imperative that we know how these weapons are going to be used moving forward. Because here's the thing, we're not able to lean on our defense. We can't lean on kicking and special teams. So it's going to have to be on the offense to carry the load to get us across that finish line. See, what you've learned in these past couple weeks is the offense just can't be good. It has to be legendary. And a lot of those legendary games and stuff that we've had, they've ended in close 2-3 point games. Think about it. Those Bengals games, 3 points. That's it. The only real blowout we had this year was the Bills. We have to get into the mindset of it just doesn't have to be one way. I get so frustrated at that mindset where it has to only be done this way. Like, oh, we're running the ball today, so all we're going to do is run. Why don't you mesh it? Okay, we're going to run the ball. Okay, now we can play action off that run. We can do play action with screens off that run. Oh, look at that. Play action, deep shots is open. Why? Because now it sucked everybody in. It doesn't always have to be, no, today we're running the ball, so we're running it 40, 50 times. We don't care if we're doing it. We're not shaping it up. Run. We're trying 2 run plays. Power and counter. That's it. Right or left. Pick which way you're going, and that's what we're going to do. That's a problem. And I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about because everybody has seen games where Zay Flowers was eating them up. Cookies, and he didn't get the ball for the rest of the game. Likely was eating them up. He didn't get the rest of the ball for the game. Matter of fact, a game where Justice Hill was eating them up, right? He ended up being on the bench and unused for the rest of the game. And so on and so forth. That's a problem, and we're not even bringing into consideration Lamar Jackson's legs. Because honestly, one thing I will say, I'd rather Lamar take off and run than trust Nelson Aguilar in a deep shot. Because, I mean, he's dropping half of those. So it's just a wasted play. On those long 3rd and 10s or 3rd and 9s, you're like, oh, I could go off for this. Tell you the truth, I'd rather Tylen get in those opportunities than Aguilar. Because Tylen ain't dropping anything. If it hits his hands, he's bringing it home. Listen, guys, I was really thinking about this. I said all this stuff, and I also said about Lamar's legs. How are we going to use these guys moving forward? The consensus is going to be because of bad weather, especially when it's cold and bad weather, you're going to lean more with Henry. But the problem is that we don't have a stout enough O-line that just have movers on it to let's say, okay, well, we could beat you going 5 yards every time, 4 or 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards. Like cookies and bogeys. You know what I'm saying? We have a finesse O-line, which is crazy because they're finesse, but they still bite at pass pro. Look, I really take into consideration all this stuff because it just can't be on Lamar to be spectacular every game. There has to be games where Andrews is making play after play after play and we win because of all his plays. A game where Likely's making all the plays and we win off of his play. Zay's making everybody miss. Human joystick. Click. And we win off of his plays. Bateman, the same thing. We've had 1 or 2 games where it was like, yo, Derrick Henry is literally going off so everybody else can sit back. And I'm not saying not play. What I'm saying is they don't have to do everything to win. Like, everyone's giving everything, but I'm saying, like, we're relying heavily on Derrick Henry, so I don't have to really do as much. I just got to hold up my end of the bargain of blocking because Derrick Henry is popping off 10 yards of carry right now. You know what I'm saying? The selflessness to even be able to do that. Understanding that. And then Derrick Henry sometimes being like, all right, I can't get 100 this game. I might only get like 50. But I got to pass pro. I got to come back into this and make sure no one's touching Lamar so we can get this ball delivered down the field. The mesh, it's meshing, doing the right thing. I really want to know. I want to know on this episode how you think we're going to use these weapons moving forward. Let me tell you something right now. If Lamar says, oh, I can pass for 300 and rush for 100, that's a problem. Let me tell you why that's a problem. Because to me, that's unsustainable. There's no reason Lamar has to run for 100 yards when you have Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and Keaton Mitchell on the team. That doesn't make sense to me. If he ends up with 100 because, oh, he broke away an 80 or 50-yard run, fine. But Lamar got 14 carries for $120. Why? Why? 14 carries? And then during those 14 carries, he's tired. He's taking hits. He's hitting the ground. Accuracy starts to wane. And we don't have guys that just go up and get the ball outside of our tight ends. That's a problem. Hence why I'm trying to tell you. But what do you guys think? How do you think the Ravens and Lamar Jackson are going to use these weapons moving forward? And what does it mean for every weapon and situation if we end up using them heavily? Let me know what you think down in the comment section, please. All right? But as always, that's episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. Now we get down, we have fun, and we laugh. But everything we talk about, we're doing what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. You know, love the comments. If you have not done so already, check out The Wunderkind Show's Patreon. Yes, 3 tiers of content goodness waiting for your consumption. Give it a look, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And shout out to all the patrons. That money goes towards getting cameras and stuff like that. And that's how we were able to get this, the gimbal. Yes. So shout out to the patrons. Yes, that gimbal was very expensive. And that's how we got it, through the Patreon subscribers. So if you ever think that the money's not helping, it is. And I just want to say thank you, especially during this the season of giving right now. Thank you so much. That's how we've been doing it. So that's where it's went to, okay? And also, if you'd like to just donate, help out with equipment the same way, but just straight up without the subscription, bottom of the screen, QR code. QR code's to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is money sign, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Dr. Signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Huh? Yeah.
Finish him, Daddy.
Dragon Sword.